and HJR 38 pending for the committee. The chair now lays out House Bill 179 and I believe HJR 30 and calls on Representative Roberts to explain the bill and the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members. I'm going to give you an opportunity today as you reflect back to think, I did something great today. And that is, we're going to help our first responders who are on lifetime disability. Mr. Chairman and members, I do appreciate the opportunity to lay out House Bill 179 and House Joint Resolution 30. As you'll recall, during the regular session, we voted to allow the widows of fallen first responders a property tax exemption in recognition of the tremendous sacrifice that their family has made. Shortly after, though, the bill filing deadline, I was contacted by a constituent who let me know that while this was certainly appreciated, there are many first responders out there who have been disabled in the line of duty and were struggling to deal with the great financial cost that came with their lifetime disability. Mr. Chairman and members, if enacted, House Bill 179 and House Joint Resolution 30 would allow a disabled first responder who is injured in the line of duty to the point where they qualify for lifetime income benefits to be able to qualify for an exemption to property taxes on their homestead. The injuries that we're talking about here, there's a defined criteria involve such thing as multiple limbs lost, loss of eyesight, or even severe burns to cover 40% of their body. It's the least we can do to remove at least one of the financial burdens that they're facing and ensure that these individuals are not taxed out of their homes. With that, I would entertain any questions, Mr.
Representative Roberts, I guess we're in a special, so I don't know if the record setting applies back to the regular, but I think you have set the record now. For the smallest fiscal note that I've seen, it's your bill will cost the great state of Texas $2,000.
I try to do my best to be fiscally responsible, Mr. Chairman.
I mean, we didn't see one for.
We saw a really small one.
We saw a really small, but it was like
5,000.
4 or 5. Yeah, two. So you hold the record now, and kind of amazing, Representative Murphy.
Good. Yeah. So. Kevin, thank you for bringing us this bill. I'm not really familiar with this labor code issue about what it means to get the lifetime payments. And so we had a bill, I don't know if it's your bill, but we had a bill about percentage disabled as the percentage of the exemption or something like that. Are these people essentially 100% disabled? I mean, are they basically unable to work?
Yes, sir. This is defined by the Division of Workers' Comp as lifetime income benefits.
I know. I just didn't know what that means.
Yes.
They worked closely with the agencies involved on where that is certified or declared.
Right, because remember we had that whole conversation,
Correct.
Chairman?
And I mean, Roberts' credit, he did his homework to get this drafted.
So is this basically 100%?
To solve those.
Yes, I mean, loss of both feet at or above the ankle. It's very explicit in terms of what you have to do to qualify for this.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd say what you have to do, but
thank you.
What you've sacrificed. What has
exactly.
occurred to you. Anyhow, no other questions, members?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sorry, Ms. Springer.
So as we come up with the definition of that, but you're saying that they're receiving income from it, so that I'm assuming that means that those first responders departments have taken out disability policies that then would pay. But what if they're a volunteer fireman that doesn't receive income?
They would be covered by this. Okay. It encompasses first responders in general. For example, the majority of my ESDs, firefighters, are volunteer.
Right.
In my
okay.
district.
So that's what I just want to make sure if we were going on this that it was indeed covering everybody who puts their life at risk.
That's the
on
intent.
That type of deal. All right, thank you.
Well,
they're entitled to, not that they do.
Well, if you're coming up with the disability is based on a code of income and from that section of the code, but I'm just wanting to make sure that somebody who's truly a volunteer out there that's not going to receive compensation. Not only did they not get paid for being a volunteer, but then they're not getting paid disability, that they would qualify and not Mr. just
Roberts,
those that were on a paid department potentially.
I don't want to go on intent, but it's your understanding that the bill has been drafted to ensure that a volunteer would be covered?
That is my understanding, and the definition of a first responder is listed under Section 615.003 of the Government Code. So I asked that same question. We can go back and verify again the Government Code, but that was what I was told.
And it is also in the line of duty, correct?
Correct.
So, okay. Thank you.
Okay, so we could clarify that. All right. Any other questions, members? Yes, Mr. Bohack.
Kevin, just a really quick question.
Yes,
I like your bill.
Thank you.
Is there an estimate by any of the departments in the state of Texas on how many people this would affect in our state?
I'm glad you asked me that. Since 1998, we currently have 16 first responders on lifetime disability benefits.
That's probably why the fiscal note's $2,000, and I'm sure there's a local impact of some degree. But if we only have 16 that this applies to,
Right.
and thank God, there's no reason to believe that that number would grow, and we would hope it wouldn't change a bit.
But to those 16, it's a significant
Absolutely.
number and a significant
Right.
benefit.
No, that's
Absolutely.
right. No, absolutely.
Thank you,
Mr.
Kevin.
Chairman, Mr. Chairman,
Thank you.
on that
Sure.
on that fiscal note there as well, it does go in 2020. It does start jumping up to $500,000, $600,000 a year.
And we have a call
and
in
I
the
think that's more when it starts.
Sure.
We have a call in to LBB because I question the methodology of that, and here's why I say that. I'm told
We're
there's
back on track.
Yes.
No
There-
one agrees with the fiscal
There's
notes. Nobody.
2,000, I'm told, in the system with life that are eligible for lifetime disability. So my question is, I just want to see the math,
Sure.
of how
And-
many they actually included.
And I would encourage you to sit down with LBB. They're very good about going
Yes.
through how
They're
they come
great.
to
We
those
have a
fiscal
call.
notes I don't know. I think we've had one or two members who agreed with their fiscal note, but historically no one does, unless it's zero. Then they agree with it, but we don't count that. Mr. Raymond, Chairman Raymond.
Chairman, what we do know is a number of people that would be affected, and so I hope we'll vote this thing out.
Yeah. Is there a Senate
Thank you.
companion to this?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. All right. Excellent. Any other questions, members? Thank you. Let me call some witnesses.
Okay,
for
like
you.
to reserve the
Yeah, we'll give you the right to close.
Thank you.
And we do have some witnesses who do want to say something. John Carlton, Texas Association of Fire and Emergency Districts, for the bill. Is Mr. Carlton here? We can show him as for the bill but not testifying. Chair calls Frederick Frazier, Dallas Police Association, for House Bill 179 and HJR 30.
How are you doing today? And thank you for having us into this special session during the summer. I just want to testify on this bill. First of all,
Could you please introduce yourself?
Frederick
and
Frazier
who-
with the Dallas
Thank you.
Police
Sorry about that,
Association,
but
first vice president and PAC chairman. When I got the message on this bill last week, we immediately thought of two officers that this would affect dramatically. Lieutenant Carlton Marshall, 2007, was shot in the neck, paralyzed, and David Rodriguez, shot in 1994 during a drug raid, and been paralyzed since. Both homeowners, both represented a department in the best capacity they could. Both of them are disabled, and this would dramatically change their life. And bills like this are positive, and they make Texas better. This is what you guys are down here for, and I want to thank Representative Roberts for putting this bill forward. And this is one of those bills that's just it's a right thing to do.
Yeah, I appreciate your thanking him because I think it's important to note too that he called me and has advocated early on this and said, look, this issue was raised to me in the time between the regular and the special, and Mr. Chairman, I want you to know I'm bringing it forward. I hope you'll consider it. I believe it fits in the call. Let's go to work. So
Absolutely.
he's done every part you could ask of a member to advocate on an issue. So
Yes, sir.
appreciate your thanking him for that.
Yeah.
Any other questions, members? Thank you. Appreciate your being here. Appreciate your service.
Thank you.
The chair calls Ray Hunt, wishing to testify for House Bill 179. And I'm going to go ahead and show you, Mr. Hunt, you are registered as not wishing to testify, but for HJR 30. I'm going to go ahead and show you as testifying on HJR 30 for it also, if you don't mind.
That'll be
'cause it'll
perfect.
make
Thank
it
you,
a little
Mr. Chairman.
cleaner.
My name is Ray Hunt. I'm president of the Houston Police Officers Union, representing 5,100 police officers in Houston. And I just wanted to be very brief here to publicly thank my representative, Kevin Roberts, for bringing forth this important legislation. And we have officers who are catastrophically injured in the line of duty. J.D. Green, we have one right now that's about to be retired with the same situation, with a bullet lodged in his spine, unable to move anything above his chest. when they leave TIR or any of the rehab places, we always tell them that you're never going to be forgotten. And I think that this goes one step further. It shows also that the Texas legislature is also not going to forget those folks. So on behalf of the 5,100 police officers in Houston, we thank y'all for bringing this forward and hope that y'all pass it out. Thank you very much, Representative Roberts.
Thank you. Thank you, question members. Thank you. Appreciate your time today. The chair now calls Mitch Landry, who is with the Texas Municipal Police Association for House Bill 179. And again, Mr. Landry, if you don't mind, I'm going to show you is also testifying for HJR 30. Absolutely.
Chairman, members, thank you for the opportunity to be here. Again, thanks, Representative Roberts. Keep it brief. One thing that hasn't been brought up, it was laid out really well, is when they're on total disability, it's about 60% of what their paycheck would have been. So that's a dramatic financial strain on the family. And so we're here in favor of it. Again, thanks for each and every one of you, and it's a great bill.
Yeah, so it closes that gap a little bit, doesn't
Yes.
it? Great. Thank you. Very good point to make.
Thanks.
Question, members? Thank you. Appreciate it. The chair now calls Alexi Swirsky. She is for House Bill 179 and HJR 30. I guess she has left, so we'll show her as for him, but not testifying. And then the chair calls Charlie Wilkinson, who is the combined law enforcement, who is for House Bill 179 and HJR 30. Good to see you, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Charlie Wilkinson, Executive Director of CLEAT, representing 22,000 plus members across the state. We worked with you to pass a disability bill back in the early days, which only really affected people who've been totally disabled, but it took them to a place it had to be a crime committed in the disability, and it only replaced their income up to their retirement age, and we only had $200,000 a year. So with all those caveats, and it had to establish the payer of last resort. So we're happy to support the bill. Thanks to Representative Roberts, thanks to all of you, and in the current climate we're in, we're particularly thankful anybody wanting to help the police.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Any questions, members? Charlie, good to see you. Thank you very much, sir. We have several people registered for the bill, and one or two registered against it, not wishing to testify. So with that, is there anyone else here wishing to testify on, for, against House Bill 179 and HJR 130? Seeing no one, the chair calls on Representative Roberts to close on his bill on HJR.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And if I might go ahead and answer Representative Springer's question. As defined by the government code that I referred to earlier, volunteer fire are covered. Member of an organized volunteer firefighting unit. In addition, EMS is covered. In addition, TDCJ is covered. There's about 17 categories with many subcategories within. So I believe it is
thank you, because that's a
very
big deal for
encompassing.
Representative Springer and a big deal for me, because I don't know about you, Representative Springer, but I don't, other than my industrial firefighting force, I have nothing but a volunteer force
Same
in my
here.
entire district. So
No, and I've had a volunteer EMS person lose both legs in a traffic accident.
But I mean, I'm assuming your
Type of deal.
district
No,
is
that's
like
it.
mine, that your volunteer, your
absolutely.
firefighters, you don't have a single probably paid.
I've got a couple paid fired, a couple combination, but I got about 50 volunteer departments. And,
Right.
you know, we had the Panhandle fires, and
That's
a
right.
gentleman out of Shamrock had 60% of his body, and he's lost his job and everything from this aspect.
Yeah, we don't
And
want
so,
to we don't want to leave them out.
Yeah,
and Representative
so-
Roberts has made sure.
No,
they're not.
and I appreciate it. Would love to look forward to signing on.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you, sir. I'd appreciate your favorable consideration, and if you so deem fit, would appreciate you voting it out.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Any other questions, members? Thank you. Thank you, Representative Roberts. And in all sincerity, for those who've come up, we appreciate your service. And, you know, Representative Roberts has done more than just file a bill. He's really been on it and advocating and pushing. So I hope y'all appreciate that, and I know you do. You said it today. Chair leaves House Bill 179 and HJR 30 pending for the committee. Chair now lays out House Bill